That they, and still to this day, like I got East Coast blogger homegirls, I bring up, it's always this argument. Who was more influential in female hip hop, Trina or Nicki? I'ma say Trina, but it's because I'm Southern. If we being real though, like numbers and stuff, it's Nicki. But I'ma say Trina because I'm from the South. Like Trina gave Southern female rappers the blueprint on all they sounds, the raunchiness, the class, not even the classiness, the classiness, Diamond Princess, go get the money, don't let a nigga play you. She gave her the blueprint, she kind of mastered it. And then you got Nicki, who is like a metaphorical genius. Like she, female Wayne.
That's kind of why it's weird to compare them though, because they're in different lanes. Yeah, lanes of rap. Like I feel like Nicki had that pop thing going on. Yeah. And then I feel like a lot of the other rappers like Trina, they was more on the gangster side or like, you know. Yeah. That's kind of hard to. It is hard to
compare them too, because I relate to that. I get it. Like I agree with that 100%. Because I was, when Clubhouse was big, I was on Clubhouse with like New York bloggers, because New York had Clubhouse packed down. Like, even though New York was like, because they were still closed down during the pandemic, like 2021, like people didn't know they were still closed down. Like a lot of their stuff they couldn't do. Down south, we living. We didn't care about Big Rona at all. But New York and the West Coast, they stuck in the house for real. They was stuck in the house for almost 2 years. They had real regulations. So they was on Clubhouse going dumb because that was their source of entertainment. And I was in there in Clubhouse. I was talking about how like Trina, y'all leave her out a lot of times for the rap, like influential female rappers, and they be like, man, nah, she ain't, nah, Trina ain't. I'm like, bro, y'all tripping. But then I'm chopping up with my homegirl from New York one time, and she was like, I get what you're saying, because you're from the South. Her people from Florida, so she's a Great Migration. She's like 3 generations or 4 generations Great Migration. Her people migrated from Florida. I think it was like Tallahassee and Miami and Fort Lauderdale. They migrated from there. And she talks about how when she goes home and visit her mom, she understands what I'm saying. Because she be down south. Trick Daddy, Trina, Coley P, that's what they be listening to. Rick Ross. Like, people don't say Rick Ross and 2 Chainz is luxury rappers up north. But for us, that's all we know.
How much more luxurious can it get?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you're getting... It's a regional thing with hip hop too. So like with female hip hop now, I made it a point to celebrate only Southern female rappers. So they can really have their history told. They can really have their representation. They really have a place to really just be okay, to be cool to be Southern, because sometimes when we leave Houston or we leave the South, it's not cool to be Southern. We see in this country, they first thing they say, oh, your accent. I remember one time, where'd I go? I went somewhere. I think I went to Miami, and Miami Spring Break 2019, it was nothing but like Philly, New York in there. It was like, you sound like Megan Thee Stallion. I do not sound like Megan Thee Stallion.
That's what they told you.
Yes. I said, I do not sound like Megan Thee Stallion. And then my homegirl was like, because we from Texas and they can hear our accent and that's all they know. That's all they hear every day. So I was like, wow, okay.
Glorilla is a really good example of that. I kind of don't like the way they make fun of her accent.
Really?
So much.
Really?
2 things. One, you want this like, so you say how it's kind of like sketchy?
Yeah, you can just
do it like that?
Yeah, we can do it like that.
Or just make these lines solid?
You can make it sketchy. It's fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, do you think that if Trina or an artist such as Trina has a business powerhouse like a Cash Money behind her, that she does more than what Nicki does?
Yeah, she would have. If Slip and Slide was serious, because I can't say Slip and Slide wasn't a powerhouse, but if Slip and Slide was serious, more serious than what they was, because Trick and Trina, even Plies deserve more. They deserve more.
For sure.
So if Slip and Slide was serious about actually outsourcing and finding artists, they would have been a powerhouse, because people do sleep on how Slip and Slide Records did hold Florida down for almost 15 years, from Trina to Plies to Trick, even Rick Ross. Yeah. Rick Ross was signed to Slip and Slide when he dropped Hustling. So I do feel that they Slip and Slide should have did more instead of just focus on Florida. They could even reached out to Alabama.
Yeah, I guess Cash Money kind of look towards the future more with their artists. Like, I mean, you know, we all know we ain't jam Young Money past Bedrock, but they tried. Like, you know what I'm saying? They threw 15 of them niggas at us.
I'd say about 2015, Young Money died. Young Money died around 2015.
You think it took that long?
Yeah.
I think they was done in 2009, right after they dropped.
Nah, cause you had Tiger Okay, so I give you the lineup because they had a big foe. They did have a big foe. So in 09 was really when they really hit the streets was like, oh, these boys rapping. You had Wayne, Drake, Nicki, Tiger. That was a big foe because Tiger was holding it down with the Kings mixtapes. Niggas was killing that. And
niggas was jamming Tiger, bro.
Yeah,
they ain't gonna act like they wasn't jamming Tiger before he got with Kylie Jenner.
Yeah, niggas was jamming Tiger for like a good 5 years.
Y'all was putting the lime in the coconut and twisting it all up. I know what y'all was on.
Then niggas was jamming, for sure jamming Nicki. Nicki was up. Wayne had the mixtapes. The No Ceiling mixtapes was going crazy. I remember the first one, I had it on my iPod. And then Drake was just everywhere. Like Drake was like because they had a backpack rapper, they had a female rapper, they had a Cali nigga, and then they had just an all-around nigga giving bars. Like they had the perfect package. And then
so what you think happened in 2015?
Just the current change, because you gotta think that's also, I call that recession music. So hip hop was fun because it was recession music. We was all kids, they demographics kids. Lil Twist was really the fifth man on the cool because Lil Twist had like the girls going crazy.
Say that. Yeah. Don't disrespect Lil Twist.
Yeah, shout out to Lil Twist. He from Dallas. But
he is?
Yeah, he from Dallas, Texas.
I ain't know that. Yeah. Cash Money fuck with Texas too. Cash Money fuck with Texas too.
Yeah, they do.
And Texas fuck with Drake. Really, Texas. I ain't gonna keep talking about it. Go ahead.
You good? But
because they be sleep on us.
Yeah, they do. But Young Money, Cash Money had a little thing going. Like niggas it was Young Money, Cash Money, Maybach Music. Cause you had that shit with Rick Ross. You had Meek Mills, Wale. You had Maybach had that shit going.
Maybach was leaning on Drake a little bit too, though.
Yeah, they was just a little bit.
Like I think Rick Ross. I will buy a Rick Ross album and listen to the whole thing without skipping. But most people don't listen to Rick Ross like that. They only listen to like those certain hits, and a lot of them hits got Drake on it. Even though bro was trying to diss him, he was leaning on Drake. So Young Money, you're right. They did have a good run.
It's like
if you count the big four,
they had a run. They made millions. But
ain't nobody listen to Kid. Or goddamn, what's one of the
Gutter,
others? There's a lot of
Chanel.
them. Gutter. Never heard a Gutter song in my life.
And I met him a couple of years ago. Shout out to Gutter. But we was not listening to your music. He still rap. I'm pretty sure he got a stake though in Young Money though.
All right, y'all. So look, we just dropped the Patreon. That means access to this full interview early and other few interviews like it, as well as essentially an apprenticeship from me digitally. Now this Patreon is gonna have 2 tiers. The starter tier is gonna come with early access to full videos, behind the scenes content, tattoo and piercing quick tip, ad-free content, as well as information recommendation. That means any book, ebook, YouTube video, course, whatever I come across, what helps me is gonna help you. Now the second tier, that's only for the hustlers. That's gonna have access to everything I just mentioned, as well as in-depth tattoo videos with technique voiceovers. These are not time lapses. This is full 2, 3, 4 hours, however long it takes me to tat, you're gonna see all of it. We're also gonna have my Piercing 101 guide that's already up, my Piercing 102 guide that's on the way. I'm gonna drop the gems for the entrepreneurs. I'm gonna have things for clothing lines, manufacturers, how to speak with them, etc. I might even do some personal critiques for those trying to be tattoo artists. Be on the lookout for that. Subscribe to the channel and subscribe to the Patreon.